Hey, hey, welcome to Digging into the Bible. My name is Jim Barnard. This is a production of Taylor Coaching. All right, it's day 2. Thank you for joining me. We are off to a fast start here in the letter of Paul to the Romans. It's such a great book. I'm so excited to dig into this with you. We have this anxious introduction by Paul that we looked at yesterday, and he's anxious because he knows a very little bit about the people of the Church of Rome. He knows that their faith is known throughout the world that he's traveled to, but he doesn't know them. He doesn't know a lot about the church, and he wants them to be prepared for him to come on this missionary journey that he hopes to make. This missionary journey is going to look vastly different than what he has in mind, but he also wants to introduce systematic theology to them. So because he doesn't know the specifics, this book is pretty clean on systematic theology. There's not a lot of situationally specific things that he's talking about, and so such a good book. So today Paul is really kicking off the theology and just talking about the righteousness of God. And I'll tell you this much: it's righteous, dude. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. You don't know that because you're younger than me, and I don't know why they made a remake. Anyways, I'm just going on for no good reason. With that as the backdrop, let's go ahead and dig in. This is Romans chapter 1, starting at verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. For in it the righteousness of God is revealed from faith for faith. As it is written, the righteous shall live by faith. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man, and birds, and animals, and creeping things. All right, so I joked, it's righteous, dude. The word righteous happens 4 times in this section, 2 in the positive, and then 2 in the negative or the opposite, like the unrighteous version. And Paul's using a compare and contrast method to focus on righteous living. And I mean, the first part is pretty simple. Righteous living means to live by faith, not by works, but by faith. Certainly, I think we would all agree that works should come out of that, but living by faith is what it means to live righteously. And the first few words of this section, I am not ashamed of the gospel, that rolls right into it. Like, we can't live ashamed of the gospel, of Jesus, of our faith. If we do that, like, righteous living is not going to follow. And then Paul gets into like what unrighteous living looks like. And the thing I really like find interesting is that Paul seems like a naturalist here. He feels like, I live in Colorado, and people will often come out and visit and see these mountains and just wonder, like, oh my gosh, God made these beautiful mountains. Like, God is so real. It's gorgeous. It's unbelievable. And I'm right there with them. I don't think it's an accident. I think God created a lot of beauty in this world, not just the Rocky Mountains, but he created this beauty, and it's for us to enjoy. And, I think there's a lot of truth to that. Now, he says that it should be plain to you that's real, but if it's not plain, I think we can look even further. There's a devotional that me and my son Anderson do every single night. It's called How Great Is Our God? It's by Louis Giglio. Anderson calls him Louis Galignatano because Giglio, I guess, is hard to say. No, I don't know. He's just creative. I love it. Anyways, it takes the reality of the scientific world, like our Earth and us as humans, and just all these scientific facts, and really helps take that and reinforce the fact that God is real, and he's creative, and he's for us, and he loves us, and he wants us to enjoy this. And I love it so much. In fact, the first devotional I believe in this book was one I will never forget. I didn't know this fact. Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. And there's a Goldilocks zone where things are just right. So if we were any closer to the sun, we would be too hot, just like Goldilocks experienced with the porridge. And if we were any further away, we would be too cold, and existence couldn't happen. But we are in a spot where it's just right. Like truly, a matter of miles could make a difference, a monstrous difference. And so this Goldilocks zone, I mean, like, how in the world, like, how would we mistakenly get in this place? Well, God, only God. So I hope that you believe that. I don't know, but I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're digging into this theology that Paul is sharing with me. So I am out of time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you tomorrow as we continue to dig in to Romans chapter 1. I'll see you then.